Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Drop Frames. We're 2 days away from Halloween. It's October the 30th. What episode are we on actually, though?
36,741.
36?
Steve.
Pretty good. It's pretty good. You might already have seen it. Jericho's pointed it out. We are in an interesting time here in the Better Co world. We have now adorned Jericho with an award, but we're going to have a peacetime period, which really means I couldn't figure out how to get a game worked out here. So we're going to have a peacetime period this episode. Jericho will remain the Better Co, but a war is coming, you know.
Only fair.
It is only fair.
Yeah,
it's natural that I would be the Better Co.
It's true.
Naturally.
It's true. But being that it is Halloween, I have a very scary story for you guys. Okay. Twitch streamers are disappearing at a rapid rate, and they're appearing on other platforms. And I don't know what is happening, but they're on this site called Mixer. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on over there. It's scary.
It's a fairy tale. It's a ghost story, man. It's a myth.
Yeah. I mean, there's this guy who's dressed up as a ninja. He went over there. The guy was wearing a shroud. He ended up on that platform. And then the old dad who was out with his kids, he ended up on the platform as well. So I don't know. It's scary. It's scary times. Some people in chat are saying it's just a retirement home for streamers though. So I don't know. I don't know what's
Sounds
going on.
Sounds like a fun retirement home.
It might be kind of nice. Who knows what they're giving out for the trick or treating. We'll have to see. We're going to talk about that for a large portion of today's episode. Of course, everyone's saying like mass exodus, but it's three streamers out of
so many
millions of streamers on the platform.
We should probably start discussing what we're doing after this streaming thing at this point. I mean, the whole thing's falling apart around us.
It's true. The apocalypse is here. This is
the kind of apocalypse I want. It's one that ends with a lot of money.
Yeah, no, it's like, an apocalypse where you're just showered with money. So maybe it's a good one. I don't
Terrifying.
know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know how that. Maybe that's not the worst thing. So what are we talking about?
My call real quick.
You're gonna what?
I'm gonna refresh the call real quick. It froze for me.
Okay, sounds good. We'll talk about the Mixer stuff. We didn't have a show last week, so we haven't had time to talk about it.
We get fresh combo.
Yeah, we get fresh convo here. I think that it's one of those things. And then we got, Outer Worlds and Call of Duty and some other games that have come out. There's too many fucking games right now. And that's I think that means more when I say it. When Co says it, it's just like some early access games came out. But for me, it's like, okay, there's actually a lot of games.
Dude, there are a lot of games out. I'm excited.
Yeah.
So when I say it, it's like,
oh, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So we'll get to those. And Zeke hasn't moved yet. He got stuck in Montana's still not letting him go. They can't.
Where are you moving to, Zeke?
He's going to Denver. He's headed to Denver. So, yeah. Leaving tonight. What's the story there before we jump into all the news?
Tomorrow morning.
That's
the plan is to leave good old B-Town by 9 or 10 a.m.
Okay.
Get down there because another streamer on this wonderful platform called Twitch named Tiger Rider hit me up. He was like, "Oh, you're coming down? Awesome, dude. Hey, do you know Magic Swords playing on Halloween?" I went, "Oh, give me a ticket." Not thinking I was going to be there, on like the Tuesday. I was going to drive down on Tuesday. So now it's like, I hope I make it because I'm going to be like heading down there, getting there about like 6 or 7 p.m. Concert starts at 8. We'll see.
That's what I like to do when I move to a new city after a long drive is go straight to a concert when I get out of the U-Haul.
I did that when I moved from Portland down here. So it's fun. You're just gonna be a little tired.
Yeah. It'll be fun. It'll be a nice way to kick off what hopefully will be a good journey in Denver.
I hope so. Yeah. And you're not the first person to say that. And my reaction or my comment to all that is the same one, like from Talladega Nights, like, because I like to party.
Sure. Yeah. As you do.
Why are you doing that? I like to party.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about this Mixer stuff. I think every single person here I've had a conversation with about it in a non-public manner, because it's one of those things where I think most streamers are just interested in talking about the streaming culture to begin with on a daily basis. But when stuff like this happens, we go into like high school mode where we're just sitting there texting our friends back and forth about the different takes and all that stuff on it. So it's been a fun week, to say the least. And then immediately after Shroud, the same week we got Cathalion last week, who also went over to Mixer and I think had his debut day yesterday. I think he's even streaming right now on the platform. So it's and now of course the meme on Twitch is anytime a streamer says, "Hey, I'm taking the day off," or "Hey, I got to go do some business stuff," it's like, well, they're going to be on Mixer tomorrow. So,
or does a giant multi-day countdown on their Twitter?
Yes, that also, that's a big red flag as well, that they might be moving to another platform. So it's interesting times, to say the least. I'm not sure where to jump into this, except like, how much money does Mixer get to spend here, I guess, is maybe where we'll start. Like, it's interesting that they're taking the Epic Game Store approach to streaming, right? Because like, you can't just outright buy Twitch. That's too expensive, but you could buy all the content on Twitch. That's cheaper. If you just got everyone to move over to the platform by paying, the content to move over there. Exactly what Epic Game Store. They can't buy Steam, but they can buy a bunch of game developers and a bunch of game publishers and get them on their platform for exclusivity rights. So I kind of look at it like that. Obviously, we don't know any of the contract information. None of that is gotten out there. None of the money is out there publicly or even privately. I think most people are just shopping around numbers that think they make sense. So we're not sure if it's, a 3-year, a 5-year, a 1 year, or if they're all different. Probably we'll never know. But yeah, it's been an interesting time the past week for sure.
Do you want to wildly speculate?
Speculate?
Let's do it.
I think, I'm trying to think. Yeah. I don't know if we had a drop frame consensus, but I think when Ninja went over, we all said like 30 million plus, which now I think, at the time we thought it was on the high side, but now I think that might be on the low side. I don't know, from a bunch of stuff I'm hearing. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think everyone's contract is different as well. So I'm sure Shroud and Cathalion got different whatever contracts, but yeah, that's what I think.
Also, something really interesting to think about is how fluid all of this is right now. Like in establishing worth, it's kind of like IPOs back during like the 90s and startups, where it's kind of like day to day, different values and worth are being established. So for instance, like they paid a huge amount of money for Ninja, and he had like a pretty big first week, and he's really toned down a bit. And then yesterday, King Cathalion had his big first day, and Cathalion had been streaming for about 4 hours playing Destiny 2, and Ninja logged into Mixer playing a hot new COD game. 4 hours later, Ninja still has less viewers than Cathalion.
Right.
And it's kind of like, but no, the thing is it's like back in the day, if you would have probably told Mixer that was going to happen when they spent all that money on Ninja, I bet you that would have been kind of like a, whoa, hold on. It's just seeing how everything is happening in front of us, I feel is drastically changing how this stuff is going to be approached in the future, almost on a day-to-day basis.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I agree with you that might be like, I did not expect Cathalion on his prime day to beat Ninja on his regular day. If Ninja was playing Fortnite, not playing a sponsored COD stream, and not having Cathalion being hosted by Xbox on the front page. So I think there's like a lot of moving parts here, but I definitely disagree that Mixer is looking at numerical like stream numbers and saying like, this was not what we expected, because when they brought Ninja over, I wholeheartedly believe that acquisition was not just we need more people watching on our site. They're going to use Ninja, who is still by and far the largest, most talked about gamer on socials, the most brand recognition across parents and everybody. Right. They're going to use him to champion Halo Infinite. They're going to use him to champion Minecraft. He's already played and seen the dungeon crawler Minecraft game they teased at E3 before anyone. Like the Ninja acquisition and Shroud to an extent, I believe, and even Cathalion are, for different reasons, so much more than just like, we need people on this platform to watch. It's more like, these are now advertising assets where, you know, for $10 million, they could get a Super Bowl commercial, or for $30 million for the next 2 years, they could get plenty of targeted advertisements through these streamers. It's not just like, how many viewers do they have? So I think it's a complicated issue, but
It's very complicated.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Like it's interesting because I first of all completely agree with you. And I think especially in Ninja's case, like Ninja is far more popular in the world than he was from a streaming perspective. Like by the time Ninja got bought, Few and those guys were averaging more than him on Twitch just because he had kind of cut back so much to focus on so many real life things. What's also interesting, and you kind of touched on this a little bit, is the acquisition of these streamers, not as streamers, but as advertising assets.
Right.
So like another really interesting thing is today, you know, I was lurking in Goth's stream for a good while, and people were, of course, a mile a minute. Hey, what do you think of the move? What do you think of all this stuff? And, you know, for almost the entire time I watched him, Goth was focusing on why he liked the community more, why he was so thrilled to be on in from the ground up. Like every single reason you could think of, except the fact that he was paid.
Right.
And it brings up this interesting thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of, which makes sense, of course. But of course, you know, anyone who looks at it realistically is like, well, if all that stuff was actually, you know, the case, then it feels like you would have moved to Mixer before they paid you. Because like all these other things are really good. So it makes you go, so when these guys are being brought to Mixer, are they being told, like, don't talk about financials, don't talk about payment, focus on all the good things about our system? And in that case, it's like at that point you are becoming a spokesman for the platform. You're not a streamer streaming your show on their platform.
Right.
You are becoming, like you mentioned, an advertising asset to push the brand further.
Whether you agree to it or not. That just by
exactly.
being there, it happens. Yeah.
And that's where it gets kind of interesting because, you know, the conversation right now is like, oh, these streamers are jumping platforms. These streamers are changing where they stream. But really, it's almost like the conversation should be, no, actually, these streamers aren't changing platform. They're being hired as spokesmen for an alternate platform. Like this is almost a job. This isn't really like we're just changing where we stream from. Like this is a little bit more than that in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And it kind of changes the conversation a bit when you talk about it that way.
Yeah, I agree. That's definitely a take I had not thought too much about, but you're absolutely right with that. They are an advertising arm now of Mixer, without a doubt, and that's kind of what they were paid to be.
Like what Facebook did a few years ago.
Yeah.
But isn't that what Twitch is doing already? Excuse me, with like me and other people, except the difference here is that I got paid way less to be on these billboards, like way less, right? So, so it's like this isn't something that I think is weird or unexpected, having them be the face of Mixer, because we already have people that are actively like calling themselves the face of Twitch for free. So like what, you know, I mean, you're right that they're not talking about the numerical value of why they switch. And I think for different, like for Goth especially, and we didn't touch on this, but I know I talked to JP about this. I think that most people agree that a big acquisition here was the charity support, the platform charity support that Microsoft is going to give his game GCX.
Gamescom,
right? Yeah.
Now he basically made that convention.
Right. And now, you know, I can see that as being that in the charity event and everything that he's got going on there. Microsoft comes in and says like, hey, we can't give you $30 million like we gave Shroud Ninja, and we probably wouldn't, but we can give you all the support you need to make this the next PAX or the PAX of the South or whatever the hell you want it to be, along with your charity. And I think that incentivization is incredible for Goth.
Sure.
And, you know, when you look at it on a like person by person basis, the things that Mixer is wanting out of these streamers seems more and more, it seems like they chose really good people to do it, versus like if you just look at overall viewership numbers and you're like, look, Mixer lost percentages in the overall market when Ninja went to Mixer. Like they lost like 2% to Twitch, right? When you look at that, it's in select the data you're looking at, it just kind of skews your idea of what is worth and what isn't worth for Microsoft.
Right.
Who, by the way, turned $10 billion in profit last quarter. So like all of this is like,
they're doing pretty
free.
All right.
I mean, for all we know, the entire Mixer venture could just be a way to get the Microsoft brand out there, and they may not even care about numbers or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other interesting thing.
That's another good point. Like really deciding the perspective on how you view this, because like on one end, you're absolutely right. The brand awareness may be the pinnacle thing, in which case, who cares about numbers? But then again, maybe there's someone over there that's going, the entire purpose of this brand awareness is to get more viewers on the platform, to get more ad revenue, so we can kind of mirror what other streaming platforms are doing. And it's kind of like from that perspective, we know from the first month that there were less viewers on Mixer total a month after Ninja started on it. And it's like that kind of stuff is kind of like weird. Like seriously, I look at that and I go, how is that even possible?
No, it wasn't. It's not less viewers. They lost market share. So Twitch gained viewers over. Like, it's not that they lost viewers from their pool. It's just that the overall pool, let's say it was 100,000 and then the next month it was 200,000. Mixer just had less of a percentage of the overall pool. They didn't lose concurrent viewers.
Oh,
does that make sense? It's
does.
just talking about the
stream
market share. Stuff? Yeah, that's just the market share. It wasn't. It was the market share of the overall viewers that were watching streams. It wasn't that Mixer lost viewers when Ninja switched over. Does that make sense?
Yeah, in the Stream Hatchet article I read, I thought that they said that there was actually less concurrent viewers total. Maybe I misread that.
Are they starting to?
I remember being very stunned when I read it, so yours sounds more right.
Yeah, I think they're quoting the Arsenal GG papers, and,
right?
And that I think echoes what I said, but I also could be wrong. So maybe somebody else do some research on that.
Yeah, that's also been another fun thing to watch.
We're not experts at anything, so always follow up everything we say and double check us frequently.
Yeah, yeah. Also, we'll be on Mixer later this week, so go Microsoft.
Whoa! I'm gonna be on my free cams. Hold on.
Oh, okay. All right. You got a different deal. You got a different deal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the first streamer gone. Actually, the third streamer gone cam girl.
Okay.
Guy.
All right.
Person.
Nice. That's a very select niche. I hope you do well there, Jared.
I know. I'm gonna nail it.
Yeah.
And nail other people.
Jesus Christ.
You can be the cam girl. I'm gonna be the cam girl influencer.
Oh. Now we're getting into a whole can of worms with this shit.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, that's my fallback position. I mean, if Twitch falls through, hello Chatterbait.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey man, I'd pay for you. I'd make it rain babies on you.
I'd be one of those $100 subs or $100 subs.
Dude, with my prior knowledge of how to just how to stream, like I'm wondering if it would give me just even the littlest boost, like just having like the most, like
just knowing how to use OBS,
professional looking stream on Chatterbait.
Yeah.
Zeke, some of these. Go ahead.
I was going to say Zeke also can definitely above average die rate, which is another great skill.
That's true. I have seen a GIF or two where
you're a master gyrator. I was just gonna say the audio on some of these streams are awful. If you can just nail good cam girl audio, you're head and shoulders above everyone.
It's true.
Not that I would know.
Yeah. I don't know why we're all agreeing to this. None of us know. We don't visit these websites. Fucking sickos do. Jeez.
Yeah.
you need a giant sample size to say something like that.
Yeah. What's the website called again? What's the exact URL?
There's so many of them. There's so many.
Right. Yeah.
Just whichever one.
I openly watch it. I have a friend who does it, and like seriously, she was like, "Hey, so you stream?" And I went, "Yeah." She goes, "I'm streaming too," and I went, "Oh, really? What are you playing?" She's like,
myself.
Yeah. That's an interesting question.
Yeah. The artificial skin flute.
There you go.
But she totally asked me for like streaming advice and like how to set up stuff and tech. Like I was like her IT guy for a while.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm sure there's a business there. I'm sure there's a consulting job.
Something about a 3.5-inch floppy joke somewhere in there.
There's a lot of innuendo jokes for sure.
Do you think that?
Go ahead.
Sorry. Were you gonna change the subject?
Nope.
Do you think that? So I was surprised to see Goth get added so close to Shroud. Even though, because we had such a long period between the two, I'm betting that we get another acquisition from Mixer before the end of the year. But I'm also double betting that we see some movement from YouTube because they've been kind of quiet. And that's like the platform that for some reason everybody stops talking or has left out of the conversation. Like YouTube,
it is weird. Yeah, they have a giant
so much money and so much of the market share.
Yeah, but it's also really important to think about that Twitch has some pretty serious contracts, and it's not the best idea to break them early. Yeah. So it's the kind of thing where if people are wondering like why streamers are going to be trickling into Mixer over a period of time, there's a very good chance it's because contracts are expiring.
Right.
It is in our benefit wildly to, if we do something else, to wait for the end of our contracts. So
Yeah. I mean,
that-
plus
there's a great.
when you come back
would
3
also,
years
by the
from
way-
now, you're not going to be pissed off at Twitch, and they're going to let you back in. You know.
I didn't say it. But
I don't know, man.
another
We'll see. That's
another
another
big
discussion.
thing, like,
Let's move
for
on.
instance, there was a lot of talk around when Ninja switched over. Like, yeah, this is good, but if they were serious, they'd get like 5 or 10 big streamers and all this stuff. And it's like, why didn't they drop them all at the same time? There's a very good reason it could be contracted.
Yeah.
Like, there's a good chance that there's big streamers right now on Twitch that have already been signed to Mixer that are just waiting.
Or YouTube.
Or YouTube.
Or
yeah.
YouTube
Anywhere.
or Facebook. Like,
Facebook,
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
there's
Well,
kind of becoming
yeah.
it's kind of becoming a play. So,
But I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like so
granted,
so
Facebook's been
especially
really
with
quiet.
there are well yeah Facebook has, but there are so many streamers that have a Ninja's one of them, but like there's so many streamers that have a huge YouTube following that do casual streams on Twitch that like I find it hard to believe that YouTube is not out here going, well, why not just have all of your content live on the same platform?
Yeah.
And even if that's not the case, YouTube still doesn't need to spend so much like as much money as a Mixer or a Twitch, because where does everybody's highlight videos end up? Regardless of a deal, they're ending up on YouTube. So YouTube continues to like, no matter what happens, they still get the content, right? Like it's just a weird, I don't know. It's just weird that people just don't talk about YouTube as a major player in here.
Yeah, and I think it's just because they haven't made any major plays yet, so to speak. I also think that the YouTube
Well, they
audience
lost Nick A, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the YouTube audience is so much different. And most of the conversation, at least that maybe we're all reading on a day-to-day basis, kind of in our Twitter sphere and, you know, live stream pals and all that stuff. It's such a Twitch-centric conversation. There's not really a place that kind of involves everything like that. So I think that will change over time, especially if, you know, YouTube makes some bigger plays here in the next couple of months, which I think everyone agrees that they're probably going to. Like, you see the joke, like the streamer wars are happening. It's a real thing. It's not really a joke anymore. Like it's it's less streamer wars. It's like the platform wars are happening is really what it is. I think also too, you talked about kind of being an advertising arm for Mixer when you go over there and sign some of these contracts. I also think that Mixer is future proofing in a sense. I think with their next console, they're going to probably do things a lot differently. Around like Mixer and incorporate that into the platform so much more than they have with the current Xbox. I mean, you're already seeing it like right now. Yesterday, Gothalion was on the front page of like Xbox Live when he logged into the dashboard. I can only assume that's going to start happening more and more, especially as they move forward with potentially trying to kind of regain the market in the Xbox versus PS4 world. So
100%.
Yeah.
But do you I mean, what about also Stadia with Google? Weird, but like I think that's like another reason for them to have a bunch of people unloaded. And then like the whole Xbox Game Pass thing. Have you heard about that? They're what they're doing with the Mixer. So basically, you get.
What was that?
This could be a rumor. I have no idea, but I was under the impression that at some point in the future, and if they're not doing this, hey, here's your free idea, Mixer. Adding, Twitch Prime has a free subscription to your favorite streamer every month, but you have to have Amazon Prime, which comes with video, with music, with shipping. Like it's an all-encompassing package. Twitch Prime is just one aspect of it. Xbox Game Pass is $10 a month, right? You get access to games across your PC and your Xbox. You get deals like that. Putting a free Mixer sub in there inherently is I think a great idea. One of the like the best ideas for them to do it. And then people also forget, like, if Microsoft continues to push this play anywhere idea where, if I can play anywhere, I'm infinitely more likely to start doing stuff on Windows PC, even though it's an awful platform compared to the other ones, than I would be, if I have to buy something specifically for Xbox or I have to buy it specifically for PC. I think for the average user who probably does have a PC and may want to do these like back and forth, whether it's on the couch or at the desk, like rolling that into one package and giving them a free Mixer sub or even two, because they're already giving them out like candy anyways. Like that's a pretty big incentivization, right?
Yeah, I think so for sure. Do you know when you sign up? Obviously, this means I haven't done it. When you sign up for those free Mixer subs, do they take a credit card?
No,
It's just an account creation.
Yeah,
I redeem
you just
them
click on
all.
it. here's the thing. I would not be surprised if, and again, this is before I say this, keep in mind, this is just me thinking out loud.
Conjecture, yeah.
I would not be surprised if the people they've signed, Shroud, Ninja, and Gothalion, are not getting sub revenue.
I would agree.
From those
yeah. I think that's
I would be
just,
surprised.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Like,
be
I think
surprised.
Which then would also bring up like an interesting other thing. Like maybe sub revenue is not part of these big big deals, because then it would be like, you know how much money you're getting. It's like a finite amount. And if that was the case, it's like if they did one of those big Mixer, like you get a free sub with Game Pass thing, and then those people were to throw it at somebody who was bought by Mixer, like I wonder if that's just like throwing that sub into the void.
Yeah.
Like because no one would ever
No.
get anything from it.
Yeah, that
You
is
really
kinda
don't
weird.
think that that's part of it? Like, you really don't think that? So part of the revenue that Mixer gets is from the subscription model, just like Twitch has a subscription model. That's why Twitch made affiliates get the sub button, because like getting $250 a month or whatever from some random guy is way more beneficial than having them watch 5 ads or 10 ads or 15 ads, even. Like
But the biggest difference though is that there's no money for the Mixer stuff.
No,
It's
no,
literally
so
just like
why-
a free sub, like a free sub of nothing, of a currency that doesn't exist because there's no credit card
I'd
attached
find
to it,
that-
right?
well, that one specifically, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, there's no way they're getting paid for that specific free sub,
Right.
but I guarantee they're getting paid for the subs that are being that are actually have
Subs that money
monetary
is
value.
going in. If money goes in, money goes out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which
I would,
is,
I would
it's a
hope and think that is the case. I would really hope that's the
I would
case.
pray. I would
Yeah.
pray that's the case.
Which is kind of an interesting thing too, right? Because when Ninja went over there, he announced that he had 1 million subs on his channel. So what does that actually fucking mean except advertising? Like
It means that a
all that
million
means-
people came into his channel and clicked a button.
Yeah.
Just
right.
so misleading when he started
It is,
saying
yeah.
that to like around the Twitchosphere. It's like, dude, that's totally false.
Yeah.
It's like when Facebook streamers post their metrics. It's like that's completely incomparable to anything on any other platform.
there's no
'cause
context.
Facebook,
You have
like,
200
embeds
views
their
and
stream.
Yeah.
It's just funny. Like that's happening. Here's the thing. Not only is that happening a lot now, but it's going to be happening a lot more as streaming services want people to think they're popular or want people to think that streamers are doing super well on their platform. So they'll switch out terminology. They'll use like very obfuscated stats to like, oh, this guy's doing super great. Really? Because he's being embedded in like 80% of those places.
Right.
Like, that's not-
Context is everything.
anyone could do that if they were getting that.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
yeah,
context is not usually put out
Yeah.
there. So
Yes. But what's even stranger is like the context is being hidden. So like when Ninja goes out and he says, I had 1 million subs, well, everybody who watches Twitch goes, wow, 1 million people paid $5 to him.
exactly.
That's wildly successful. That's incredible. Mix must be thrilled. And it's like, no, that's not what happened at all, actually.
I don't know what the big deal is. I got 1.3 million subs on YouTube. You
There
know,
you
I don't
go.
get it. Mixer,
Yeah.
I'm bigger than Ninja now.
God, yeah. I bet you when
You
Twitch
must be
made,
making so much.
I bet you when Twitch made the word, the product subscriptions, that YouTube was like, oh my God, people are going to think that we're just like giving people trillions of dollars. So they're probably into that. Yeah, they're probably into that idea. I think something else that was interesting, because there's so many different facets of this. I think when Ninja left, everyone kind of was like, sure, okay, that makes sense. You know, a lot of streamers, I think, look at Ninja and are like, well, he's Hollywood now, right? Like he's in another world that's not necessarily streaming. He's out there doing Jimmy Kimmel. He's out there doing Ellen. He is his own thing, and he is his own unique.
He's become a celebrity.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, for
He's
better part of
not
the word,
just
he's a
streamer.
celebrity,
He is
right?
also a celebrity.
So when that happened, everyone was like, sure. I think when Shroud left, it was kind of like, oh fuck, one of us. Like one of us left. Like
I was shocked. I was sitting there and then I was like, well, fuck yeah, Shroud, but also, whoa, where you going, bud? Like,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like sentiment across, at least maybe I was like looking for it, but sentiment across social media and even from Twitch. I mean, they tweeted out that thing saying like, good luck, have fun. It was just a different type of announcement is how I would kind of get around it. Which I thought was interesting to look at that as kind of a whole, to see the different sentiment towards Ninja and towards Shroud. And even with Gothalion, I think it was the same thing. Although Gothalion also, we were talking about it earlier, I feel like he didn't know that Shroud was leaving to Mixer the same week. And if he did
anyone?
that kind of sucks. Yeah. I'm saying like, I don't think Mixer like
Oh,
gave
they
him the
didn't-
heads up. because
Hey, by the way,
it's kind of hard to follow that, right? Like Shroud is the biggest stream or one of the biggest streams on the platform here on Twitch. And to follow that 2 days after, that's kind of shitty, I think, in retrospect. But it is what it is, and there's not much they can do. But it's just the type of thing like, are they going to try to plan these a little bit better? Or is it just like, hey, the contract ups, I'm moving over tomorrow. Like, give me the money. I need to go put it in the bank. I don't know what that looks like if they're going to try to plan this stuff. Or yeah, do they care? I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Like,
that's
if I
the
got
first thing that
fucking
came to my
money-
mind, Jericho. Is like, does this matter?
Maybe
at
the
all?
platform doesn't care. Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you're on the platform, it doesn't matter, right? Like they're going to be able to push the press when they want to push the press.
Like as many as possible, as soon as possible. Let's go. You know, like I wouldn't be surprised if we see more. Like maybe we'll see someone next week. Like you know, there's a chance that we're going to see this a lot more regularly now that the floodgates are open.
Yeah.
Do you know? All right, so I really want to talk about this because it's something I think about a lot. This is not a new thing of like platforms buying up streamers. If you've been in the streaming world for a while,
happened before.
Like you might remember Azubu TV buying up CLG, Hitbox TV buying up some League of Legends stuff, MLG TV buying up the entirety of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Like these purchases have happened for ages ago. And Nadeshot, I believe, left his contract early to come to Twitch. I know that a couple other Call of Duty people did that. MLG, none of those sites exist anymore, by the way, as far as I know. Like this is not a new idea, excuse me, where people are buying up streamers and hoping that the platform grows under it. Kind of like trickle down economics, sort of, right? Like start at the top and hopefully they go down. If stream numbers is your like metric that you're going for.
Yeah.
But do you think that the setting is different because 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 8 years ago, these people weren't globally known. Like we're talking about 4,000 viewers was the top of Twitch versus 200, 400,000, etc. Right? Like, do you think that this has more staying power and that it's not going to be a repeat of the last 3 or 4 times we've seen this, or do you think that like this is going to be another one of those? Why do we keep buying up top talent instead of like buying the middle class and moving them over?
Yeah, it's interesting.
The thing that's important to think about is the one argument that I hear over and over is it's like, well, this is a different day and age because now the people that are pushing these streaming platforms are monolithic. So it's like these platforms will always be at least a little, like a great example, like King Goth on the front page of Xbox Live. Like you log into your Xbox and there's Goth. And it's like, and people have been saying over and over, well, because these companies are doing stuff like that, these services aren't going to go anywhere. But here's the important thing to think about. Google tried to make a Facebook, and they pushed and promoted that for years and years.
They didn't push it as much as they should have. It was, but
I agree.
You're right.
It still failed though. At the end of the day, it still failed.
Man.
You could write pages on why it failed.
Yeah.
But the only point I'm making is, and actually this thing even goes more to the point. It doesn't matter how big the company is behind these services. If you don't do it right, if you don't make smart decisions, if you don't give it your all, then it doesn't matter how big your company is behind it. Like it's not going to succeed. And another thing to think about is like these ventures need to be successful not only now but over time. So you got to think long term. What's this going to be like in a half year? What's this going to be like in a year? What's this going to be like in 5 years? Like there's millions and millions of dollars being thrown around right now. Are the benefits in 5 years going to outweigh this huge initial upfront cost for services that I can't imagine are making a fraction of that money? So, and then of course, this ties into what Jericho was talking earlier about, maybe this is more about brand awareness than metrics and actual numbers, but there's so many different things that play with this that it makes the entire thing so murky. But most importantly, there's no guarantee. There's no right answer. There's nothing to reference to say like, oh yeah, this will work, or oh yeah, this won't work, because it's like, it's the Wild West right now.
It is,
so, yeah, man. Like it's very, very wild to see this happening. I'm honestly very surprised we're seeing like these, especially at this point. Like I don't really know if Mixer, kind of like Epic Games, I'm not sure if their platform is ready for as many eyes are on it right now. I mean, they have like, you go into a Mixer chat and it's just like people complaining about the GIFs and the pop-ups and all the stuff happening. People aren't happy about like where the stuff is on the screen. They just pushed a big update that apparently if you full screen on mobile doesn't even work properly. But then if you full screen it, the chat can't get off the screen. Like it's a thing where it's like,
yeah.
When you pay all this money to get people to really focus on you, you want to make sure you're putting your best foot forward. And I really wonder if this is their best foot right now.
I wonder how much it could be said though that because of Mixer's smaller size, that they can actually make changes quicker on the platform than like Twitch, or if it just doesn't matter because engineering takes engineering time. Like
I think it's just like scaling anything is the hardest part of growing, right? Like
Sure.
So I think that for the UI stuff, I'd almost argue it's probably harder for them because I feel like Microsoft is a little more involved than Amazon is with the general like flow of it. Because Microsoft, if you think about it, is like a top down. It's a platform, right? You've got PC, you had Windows Phone, but you have like a dedicated. It's almost like I'm trying to figure out. Like Amazon doesn't give a shit really about the UI of Twitch.
At least forward facing, yeah. Like we have no reason to think that they give too much about it right now. Yeah, except for the ads. I do believe I'm sure the ad stuff came from Amazon. Yeah, I'm sure that was an Amazon thing. But yeah, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I just think that it's probably easier for Twitch to make UI changes. I mean, think of all the projects they've killed in the last year that only like Pulse and shit. Like they, I just feel like Twitch makes a lot of changes quicker than I've seen Mixer change anything at all. Like, give me theater mode, Mixer. What the hell?
Right. Yeah, and I wondered like if they
announced by the way.
Stuff.
Yeah, I know. I just
10 minutes ago they just dropped the price on the Mixer sub. Yeah,
right. Funny. The funny thing is I couldn't tell you what the price of the Mixer sub was beforehand. So
they dropped it $1.
6 to 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, now this.
Okay.
Yeah, like I don't know how much impact
man,
that's
where's my credit card?
Yeah, right. Like, yeah.
Now wait a second. I just realized now that I wasn't following the Mixer Twitter, so please bear with me. I have no idea what was on it before. But was Shroud on the banner for the Mixer Twitter for the last week?
Yes, I do believe it was. Okay. And now it's Goth.
Because I just noticed that Goth is up there now, and I'm like, did they even give Shroud a week up there?
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't know.
Shroud announced last Tuesday, right? Was that
right?
Also, it's been over a week.
Was it only a week?
Yeah, there was.
Hasn't been long.
Yeah, there was because Shroud announced Tuesday and Gathan announced Sunday, or it was Thursday.
Oh,
so God, it was Thursday.
Wait a second. So Mixer just announced this big thing. We're dropping the sub by $1. Does that mean the people that get sub get less money?
No.
I don't think so.
Come on. There's 0% chance. Are you? There's 0% chance that they're gonna be that streamers are like, well, fuck yeah, do less money. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, I'm sure
I find that
there's
impossible to believe.
I have heard scary corporate arguments about stuff like that. Yeah, but you'll get more subs now.
You know what? I'm gonna find out right now. I'll ask my Mixer friend.
Get some information for us, Jericho. Yeah, I'm curious if Mixer was just like, all right, we're just gonna eat that $1, or yeah.
And if they are, it begs the question, why was it $1 more expensive anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the question I wanted to know. Like, why did they start off with $5.99?
This is like those things whenever you get like we just got an offer to do some work on our house, and they were like, yeah, it's gonna cost you X thousand, but if you act right now, it'll be like 3,000 less. And it's like, okay, so if I don't act right now, you were gonna rip me off for 3,000? Like, is that the point? Because apparently that's just money you don't need if I was gonna do it right now. So are you just like being overt about this? That you're a schemey? Like, okay, I'm gonna find someone else.
Yeah. I don't know. It's tough to say. Jericho, you got any news for us? Or are you waiting to hear back?
Nah. I also thought about it, and I was like, am I even allowed to, like,
say this stuff? Yeah, that's true.
Am I even allowed?
I'm on a show right now. Can you give us some information?
Told me.
Yeah. I mean, I find it very hard to believe. All right, here, let's pose an idea here.
All right,
which goes, we're dropping our sub from we'll drop our sub from $5 to $4, but you guys get instead of X amount, you get less.
You get less.
Are you gonna say yes? I'm not gonna say yes. Are you like
no.
I'm not gonna get more subs because of the barrier of entry is $1 less. If they halved it, I think I would. No, I wouldn't.
But see, in that case, you're acting like they would pose it as a question and not a statement.
Yeah, at some point, like the orgs can just be like, "Hey, fuck you, we're gonna charge you less."
You can't do that. It's like, well, you can also
go into my free cams then.
Yeah, money. Yeah, there's no money over there. No set.
I wonder if it's like a taper off kind of a thing. Like, okay, we're gonna switch the subs from $5.99 to $4.99, but for the next month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever, we'll still pay you as if it were that. But after that, we're gonna not do that anymore, or something like that.
Could be.
Yeah, it's weird they didn't clarify
Because
that.
I think it will make up for itself. Like you think $1, but like in $1 in such a low amount, like anything between $1 and $10, $1 is 10%, more or less to pay. So I think it will make a difference in the long run. You will get more subs with even $1 less to subscribe.
I'm curious. And this just shows how ignorant I am towards the platform. What do you get for subbing on Mixer? The same stuff you get on Twitch?
What do you get for subbing on Twitch? I'd assume it's the same, right?
Is it emotes? Is that?
Yes,
You
there
get
are
emotes.
definitely emotes on Mixer. I'm pretty sure there's a sub mode, but honestly, I haven't seen it in the wild. Now that I mention it,
No ads.
you get your name, of course.
I'd assume no ads, right?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Emotes, no ads. Somebody says.
Okay.
Bonus channel Embers, which that whole chat.
Yeah, I don't understand
I
any
have
of that
no
shit.
idea.
I couldn't
go in
begin
and I'm
to
like,
jump into that.
They're like, I got 10 million of these things in the chat, and I'm like, what's that do? Is that money? And they're like, nope. And I'm like, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, they were channel points before channel points existed. I think is what that all is. Is my basic understanding of it. But they also have like paid stuff.
I want to circle back to that.
Yeah.
Eventually today.
Okay.
What, channel points?
Yeah.
Okay.
I still don't have them. How do you enable those things?
I think you just have to have. They're not. I think you just have to get lucky. Really, what that means is you have to have Twitch turn them on your channel.
I haven't gotten lucky in years, JP.
I know, man. It's okay.
Says the guy on the face of billboards.
Yeah, it's true.
I was talking. It was a sexual innuendo, Co. It was.
Says the guy on the face of billboards.
So did they just like? They just like.
That was
out,
pre.
like,
That was pre-accident, unfortunately.
And
If I could have had that up there.
Yeah.
The guy at photoshopping was like, let me see what I could do.
Oh,
just an overarching. Go ahead.
Because I looked at it just real quick. I don't believe Mixer has any type of sub gifting. At least I couldn't find it.
Yeah, they might not have that.
Sorry.
Yeah. Zeke, what were you saying?
Just an overarching question. Yeah. It's not. You don't have to say a number, but is there a reasonable number that any of you would take to go to Mixer?
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm not going to say that on air.
Yeah,
but
I'm not gonna say that
I think everyone's got a number ultimately. But
everyone has a number.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I'm talking reasonable though. Like I'm not saying like $1 billion,
Right.
There's a number, but like to say that number out loud is inherently an awful idea.
Yes, it is. That's why I'm saying I'm not going to say the number. But yeah, I think there's a reasonable number. I think most. Here's what I think. I think with the.
Well, it's not like if you say the number, it's binding.
Yeah, but then if I move, then someone goes, "Hey, he got paid X amount of dollars because he said it on this broadcast." Like, I don't want to have.
Yeah.
There's no reason to say the number if they're just going to use it against me in the future, because that's already happened with other people.
For Zeke?
Yeah, like Gathalion said, "Hey, I need 3 times what I make on Twitch." He just said that years ago, and now that's what everyone thinks he got: 3 times what he makes on Twitch. So fuck it, I'm not saying
my
the
number many times. It's a running gag on my stream that a long time ago someone said like just random comment in chat. How much would it take to show your asshole on stream? Just a random comment in chat. And I was like, $10 million. They're like, $10 million. And it's been a running gag for years now. Like, $10 million, I will show my asshole on stream, which means that like I'll be banned from Twitch. Right.
Wait, so is that how you leave Twitch?
But that's what I'm saying. Though. Like, that's my number. Like, $10 million is my number, I guess.
So wait, you're saying if you ever show your asshole on, this is what I take from this. If your asshole's ever shown on Twitch, we can expect you to be on Mixer the next day, Zeke. Is that what you're saying here? Is that your parting gift?
Yep.
I would be pretty salty a Mixer, just saying.
Will Mixer put
if
your
the contract's
asshole on
already
the banner?
signed, go.
Yeah, it would be pretty assy of Mixer.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Oh man.
I might generate like just from clickbait, I might generate more buzz than any other streamer that went to Mixer.
You're probably
that
right.
might make worldwide news, like front page, like this dude showed his asshole for $10 million and then he signed a contract with Microsoft.
And he signed a new contract with Pornhub's new live streaming service.
Yeah, that'd be a fun headline.
Pornhub might have better bit rate.
Asshole moves to Mixer. Yeah.
I love it.
Credit.
That's
Oh
great.
God, credit where credit's due. I gotta credit
Yeah,
that.
what chat
That
member
was
was
from Romeid, Romeid. That was a
Oh
good
wow, wow, that was good.
to-
By the way, quick correction. You can give subs on Mixer. There's no sub bombing.
okay, so you can gift a single sub and not a bomb.
You can give specific subs, but you can't just be like, here's 50, 100 subs for everyone.
Nice. Okay. Let me ask you another question, kind of in line with what Zeke was asking here. Do you think that there is pressure put on streamers that have been sent or been approached, I guess, by Mixer to sign things, to sign a contract now that 3 people have signed it, and then you look at it, it's like, well, does that mean the money's drying up? Like, should I sign this? Is there a timetable here? Does that mean that there's less of a like publicity stunt around this now?
Dude, what you're saying right now is exactly what I was talking about earlier about the day-to-day changing the playing field. Like if every time a major streamer goes over, the pool of money is finite. They
Sure.
don't have a blank check to buy everyone, or they would have done it already. So it's like every time a streamer moves over, that is less of a chance that a large amount of money will go to another streamer every single time. Especially if the platform doesn't make them some kind of recompense back outside of it being just a big PR push for awareness. So yeah, I would say every time you see a streamer go over, that's a piece of the pie that then is getting taken out.
Yeah.
Go for it, Zeke.
Okay. I'm wondering because if it were me, this is how I would work it out. I would say we're gonna work this out just like the sports industry does. You pay me for 3 years, and then I'm a free agent.
Right. Yeah.
That's the most logical explanation that I think we're gonna trend to, where this is assuming that all platforms are generally equal, which I think we're getting there. I think that Mixer has a lot of quality of life changes that they could make, but in terms of like people viewing these platforms not as like Twitch and instead being like it's just changing the channel from HBO to Showtime or whatever the hell you want to talk about.
Yeah.
If we get to that point, then it will definitely be a lot more fluid. But I'm not sure that any of the platforms right now who have people leave them are going to be reciprocal or are going to welcome back those that left with open arms unless there's some incredible like value to them. Like if Ninja wants to come back to Twitch might be like, sure, you could have your sub button, everything back. But I don't think like
we're not going to pay
if you're
it, though, yeah.
Right. And I also don't think that like if I switched, I don't think that Twitch would be like, hell yeah, brother, welcome back. Because like in a very big pond, I'm a pretty small fish comparatively speaking. So I think that it matters who you are when you come back and the value that you would bring back to whatever platform you're switching to. I don't think that it's like black and white, like, yes, everybody, come back to us with open arms. Here's your sub button. Here's all that shit.
Yeah.
Well, a couple quick things to that. Like, if I'm not mistaken, and maybe it'd be a good idea one day, JP, to bring one of them on the show to talk about it a bit. There were a couple actually went to Mixer, Lol Renee and Punji Sticks. Many people know them. And then they were there for a couple years. They did some, hey, we got paid by them. Things are going well thing. When they came back, I'm pretty sure not only did Twitch welcome them with open arms, if I'm not mistaken, I think they had their sub buttons and everything ready to go on day one. Like it was just right back in. Oh, please.
So I mean, friends of mine. So they I think that was a special case because of their long-standing relationship with a lot of the people, like friends and otherwise. I think that because they were such a dedicated group on Twitch prior to switching over to Mixer for, I believe it was 1.5 years, right? Or like even just a year. I cannot remember. It's a way different scenario and also makes way less of a big splash, right? When you do it with somebody who's not, a 5,000 view streamer than it would be if, you had the big guy that left you comes like running back. I think that that's like the only example that we do have, but I think it's not a good one that represents what will or would happen if one of these larger names came back.
Fair point. Now, on that vein, though, a lot of times we give Twitch a lot of guff for decisions they may make. But at the same time, let's give them a pat on the back when it's good. Shroud video over the weekend.
Oh, it was good.
That was good. Pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Like they made a video for Shroud basically saying, literally the tweet was, "Good luck, have fun, Shroud." It was a little Twitch produced promo showing his stuff over the years, highlighted events and stuff, and basically was like, have a good one. Good luck. And funny enough, one of the first replies to that was somebody going, "Man, do I smell sarcasm here? Like, what the hell?" And Hassan, a Twitch employee, pretty well known at these points, replies, and he's like, "No, actually, that team came in over the weekend to make that video.
Right.
We don't. There's no benefits to us from doing it outside of obviously the good PR, which they got deservingly. But I mean, I really hope that people at Twitch are paying attention to that. It's kind of a you get more flies with honey kind of situation, because I saw a lot of people who have been very critical of Twitch say some very favorable things about that. And it's kind of like, Twitch, I really hope you're paying attention, because this could be like an entire new direction for you to go down. Like they kind of arguably really screwed up with the ninja stuff.
Yeah.
Like they not only kind of lost him, but then they kind of shot themselves in the foot a couple times. So it's like, hopefully this Shroud thing is them kind of saying like, maybe we will put a new foot forward, hopefully.
Yeah.
Of course, time will tell if this is a new theme or a test. But hopefully this is a new direction for them. And I hope they notice how positive the feedback was.
Yeah.
It's like the first breakup. Like the first breakup you ever have with your girlfriend, like hurts so bad. And you're so bitter. And you're just like, fuck that person. You know what? We're gonna put porn on their channel. Screw them.
Revenge porn.
And then you grow up a little bit more every time. You're like, okay, I'm a little bit more mature. And then the next time, like the third time you break up, you're like, you know what? I wish you the best.
So see, it's like first one was Ninja, second one Shroud got a video. Next week is going to be Kingathine getting a stripogram.
Yeah.
And it's like,
do you think that Goth
going.
is getting a video?
That's what I was about to ask.
Because-
is Goth sitting there like, well, where's my fucking
Right, like, yeah. Like, does Twitch just start making videos for, let's say, like, if Tim like, I think there's a cutoff, right? Like, if Cole leaves, he's getting a video, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm probably not getting a video if I leave. You know what I mean? Like, they're not just showing all my
Cole
brands
is gonna be
or
like,
something.
it's gonna be a tearjerker, like, I will remember you.
Oh God. Yeah. At some point, the people that come in over the weekend are just like, fuck, I gotta cancel dinner and go make a stupid video for this asshole. God damn it.
Did we get a sub refund for Goth stream? I got a sub refund from Shroud, right? And
I don't
Ninja.
know. Yeah, I don't know if that happened or not. I know that they did for Shroud, right? They were giving, if you were a current sub to Shroud, you got a free sub to someone on the platform, right? That's how it worked?
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was I thought that was pretty dope. It was really easy to do. They didn't have to do it, but it was a good gesture.
Yeah. So I wonder if that happened.
Oh, people in chat are saying Goth subs got canceled.
They just got flat out canceled.
Mercer said, my sub got canceled. Monster Shiners. Nope, the auto canceled Goth sub. Matsuka.
I mean, somebody has a Goth
I'll leave that one.
icon in my chat right now. That's why I asked.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
Someone mine too.
Someone in my chat says Goth got free subs too. At least one person.
Okay.
Did,
Mine,
so.
Beglin, Shywolf started linking Goth subs.
Yeah.
Goth sub emotes.
So let me ask you another question. At what point does Twitch just stop doing that stuff? Right? Like
size. They're gonna have an internal cutoff number, 100%.
Yeah.
Like
they're gonna get bad PR the second that they do. It's like, oh, where's Goth video, you assholes? Like, I'm sure that's already happening.
But you can't just like, what if?
Emote. Oh, never mind.
But like,
Bastard.
oh wait, I should put Shroud emotes in my channel. No, somebody has a Shroud emote in mine. So I mean, I don't think if you didn't redeem it,
dude, if you mouse over the Shroud emote, the type of emote is limited time only emote.
Oh, you're right. It does say that.
Huh? So I guess they kept him for a
So
month.
anyone can use that emote. They made Shroud's face a free emote before he left.
No, I think that's probably just
think
for
those
Shroud
are.
stuff.
I bet what that is that it's probably very expensive to
now
go to
we're finding out
Xolo.
It's not working.
Okay,
So
I won't
it had to
explain
have
it
been
then.
for Shroud.
It's just been I
I won't
just
explain
until
my
the sub
theory.
runs out.
Let's just all talk over each other.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I think what happened is it's probably way too expensive for Xolo to cancel all those subs. So Twitch just said let it run its course after a month, and then they'll all automatically cancel. That's probably the case. Yeah.
Dude,
Shroud on
by the
billboards.
way,
I don't know.
Go ahead.
What?
I said a Shroud on billboards.
I don't know if he was. Was he in the like?
They used them
brand
for the
video?
entire rebranding thing, the brand video and all that stuff.
I don't know.
So
He didn't go to TwitchCon this year, right?
No, he did.
Didn't he cancel last minute because of his
I
kids
can't
or
remember.
something
I
like
was
that?
drunk the whole time.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's a problem.
By the way, quick side note, but since I don't know if we'll have a better place to talk about it.
Sure.
Good thing for awareness and let your communities know. Apparently Zosala is going through another one of those things where like they try to make a payment and then if something goes wrong on their side, they just cancel it instead of try again.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are getting their Twitch subs, even if they have fully active credit cards that work fine. A lot of people are just getting their Twitch subs auto canceled. So just heads up for anyone following your favorite streamers, you'll want to make sure that your stuff is still working properly because yeah, they have many confirmed people on Twitter who are saying that they are sure their subs got canceled. It sucks. It's happened before a while back.
What's
tier
the best
2 sub just to make sure?
Yeah, exactly. What's the best way to check on that? Is that to go through like twitch.tv/subscriptions? Or
One of the tweets actually showed a thing to look at. It has something to do with the terminology of your button. Like if it says like just like I think the people that get it actually it says resubscribe instead of like show your monthly thing like it normally does.
Okay.
Yeah, people are finding out because instead of like they're noticing they're not getting their monthly thing, and then they'll talk in chat or see the button and it'll just say resubscribe.
Gotcha.
It's like, but I never turned it off. So it's that kind of thing.
Cool. Yeah, I saw that going around yesterday or maybe today or something like that. I think Shannon was the one that was tweeting out. Shannon Zed.
I know for people in chat are saying it drives me nuts that like even if not for just the NA and the people that can use it, like why is Twitch not taking advantage of Amazon Pay? Like over and over, that gets called like one of the best payment methods, and it's like it's also super cheap for them because they run it. They wouldn't have to pay Zosala.
I'm pretty sure
like,
I have that on.
Well, no. The problem was Zosala's global.
It's global, yeah, but Amazon Pay is not,
yeah.
right? That's the
No,
problem.
it's not. That's
Yeah,
right.
okay.
Right. Maybe they just don't want to use two payment systems, but still.
I'm sure there's like tax purposes and shit when you're dealing with international charges and all that nonsense. Yeah,
probably.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. We'd spent kind of an hour talking about the mixer stuff. I feel like you can talk about it ad nauseum as most streamers have been doing in private or public. It's kind of the hot topic right now. But we can go around and kind of give any final thoughts or any other things you want to open up. I kind of planned for like a full segment on this, an hour and a half, since it is a big deal, I think, in the Twitch streaming world. So
I mean, I have another like direction we can go in this. Do you think that I think that getting a guaranteed paycheck, we didn't talk about the people, I guess two things. We didn't talk about how the community reacted to people switching over to Mixer, right? The general, like a lot of duality between hostility and confusion and like people being upset. And then those that are like, I don't give a shit, this is fine. And then also like guaranteed pay, allowing people, I'm sure they have like hours that they are mandatory, that they have to stream.
I'm curious what those hours are. I'll let you finish.
I'm curious.
Ninja's kind of fucked off. It doesn't stream that much anymore.
Ninja, so. You can go count. I'm pretty sure that his has got to be like 80 hours a month.
Yeah.
I'm fair. Like I've been looking when he's live, and this is not me counting, but like I'm pretty sure that's 80 hours a month. And I'm like, fuck, man, the thought of doing 80 hours a month, like I'm just gonna go to Tokyo for a week and then stream normally for 3 weeks. Like, that's awesome. I like that. So these guaranteed contracts, do you think that it opens up streamers? Like, and my thought is this: you go to YouTube, if they pay you and they say 80 hours a week, you can spend all that time making more content for YouTube. Like, I feel like it all feeds into itself more so on that platform. So,
right.
I mean,
it's. I think that fixes a problem that a lot of streamers have right now, and the fact that and it's not necessarily it's only a problem to streamers is the fact that you can work 24 hours a day, and if you're live you'll make money, and with this idea like you're making money or you've already made the money when you're not live, right? Like it's the first actual incident of that occurring, which is a big deal, and I think that's probably why you see Ninja taking as much time off as he is, and it's something that we should probably be like, good for you. But it's very easy to be like,
thank you.
Hey, you're not streaming very much anymore. That's the first thing that people notice because you're live as a streamer. If it's your full-time job every single day for at least 5 to 6 hours, if not more. And so it's weird to see that cushion, I think, in the industry. And if anything, I hope it sets a precedent for things moving forward. To go with that statement, though, Twitch has no reason whatsoever to pay anyone more than I don't even know if there's a number, more than anything, more than $0 to stay on the platform at this point. I don't know if there's any reason to like say, no, don't go. We'll give you X amount. Because if Mixer's going to, but the thing is I think that there's a number that's low compared to Mixer's number that's always going to be high, or a Facebook number that's always going to be high, right? Like they can't match those.
I talked about this yesterday on stream. First of all, like I think it is public. I think there are several streamers that have signed who were streaming on Twitch that have signed deals to stay on Twitch, right? I'm pretty sure there are public names out there. I'm not going to out any of them because I'm not sure who is and isn't, right? But what I was saying is like, I don't know a good analogy for this, but there is a sum of money if you get an offer from a Mixer or YouTube. There's a sum of money that Twitch can offer you that is less than that one that you would probably see this person stay, as long as the YouTube and Mixer number was not so absurd that you're like, I don't like, this is it, I get to retire. There's a sum of money that Twitch can offer that is less, that would be like, for the convenience of not going through all this and staying, you get to stay on Twitch and here's the payment.
And there's also one huge thing to also think about. Like, you know, I watched a pretty funny clip that was linked to me of Dr. Disrespect talking about, you know, what he does and his metrics and stuff. And he at the time was like, you know, here he is streaming to almost 50,000 people on Twitch. There's 1.5 million people watching Twitch at that moment.
Yeah.
And every single person added up on Mixer was less than his stream at the time. And it's like, to factor that into somebody who is for their entire streaming career been thinking metrics, growth, get my community bigger. Like, let's do this. When you go to Mixer, you are abandoning that mindset in many ways. You are saying, you know what? Like, I don't need to worry about growth. I just got paid for everything. You know, I don't need to stream as much. I don't need to be stressed about this. I don't need to feel the pressure come out every day. Here's a tweet from Ninja. I will be gaming all day, but not streaming. Just have some business to take care of and don't want to walk away from my stream 30 times to take care of stuff. It's like, cool. He had some busy stuff to do today. So he's just, I don't need to stream. That's fine. Whatever. I'm not going to stream. And it's like, that kind of thing is not something you see a lot of times on Twitch because we're in that grind. So there's like a joke going around that Mixer is the Twitch retirement home. Seriously, like you get your big payout, you get a whole bunch of money, you retire from being part of that daily grind that you've been experiencing for the X amount years, and you just stream for fun whenever you want. You already won, you got your big payout. Like, cool. Let's stop caring about metrics. Yeah. Because it's the kind of thing where now, like Italian was saying on a stream today, he doesn't even care about that anymore. He feels more relaxed. He feels less stressed because he just doesn't care about that anymore.
I do wonder.
That seem nice?
Oh, I do wonder.
I mean, like again, and going back to what David said earlier, nice. I want to make sure everyone watching seeing this because I saw a couple offhand comments about this. I think I speak for all streamers when I say we're thrilled to see other streamers get these deals. We wish nothing 100%. But the best. We wish all of the success. There is not only no ill will, but the better they do at these things, the better for all of them.
Yeah.
So just to make sure that's said, like we love Italian. We love to see Shroud and these guys like get these big lifetime opportunities. Like awesome.
Right. The only people like truly winning in any of this is the content creators. Like there's no like everyone else has had some sort of negative. The content creators is only winning. It's only a positive thing for the content creators, which is awesome. It's as a content creator, that's great to see.
As a content creator, it seems like the promised land is like, and I also want to say that I don't think that just a buyout from Mixer or YouTube or Facebook is like the only promised land. Right. Or like, retention from Twitch. Like, I think that the other benefits here are that you see Twitch going like, well, okay, some of these streamers are making note that like the way we handle this is one of the driving factors why they left, not just the money, but like the way that we work with this partner, or the way that we run things behind the scenes. And then they say, well, what if we look internally and try and rectify that issue for the rest of us? That's also a really big benefit. Like I've seen, you mentioned with the Shroud video, which is a good one, but like I think that people are more attentive. They're on their toes now. They're saying like, well, if there's a way that I can help you with this problem, let me go out of my way to do it, because at the end of the day, like this may come back to bite us in the ass if we're not giving our best foot forward. Twitch was complacent. Now they're kind of getting to the point where like, oh shit, we can't just sit back. And I mean, from a viewer perspective, you might not see it as much, but from my perspective, there's only benefits from people leaving or changing platforms, monetary or non-monetary, because it just makes Twitch look inward more than they already have been.
Right. And me and Co were talking about this privately the other day. I think there's some sort of, granted, it's not these giant amounts of scales tipping one way or the other, but when a person leaves a platform, if there's going to be residual viewers that are just left on the platform looking for a place to go. And I've already seen a bunch of streams since Shroud and Gathian left who have seen like an uptick. Granted, not a life-changing uptick, or not even like enough to just tip the scales and be like, oh, I'm going full-time now or whatever. But it's definitely a bump. So if it starts to kind of like, I don't want to say thin the herd, but I guess I'm going to say thin the herd of the amount of like giant streamers on the platform.
Get rid of my competition.
Yeah, like it's ultimately that's what it is. And also the other thing is, I think it's an interesting thing that I had not considered when you look at a place like Mixer, who on any given day, 6,000 viewers can be the top spot. So if you're, a quote, you're still a gigantic streamer in the world, but a middle tier streamer when compared to the 10, 30,000 plus viewers, you can go over and be the top of a platform. Like the growth potential there, if the platform grows alongside you, is fucking crazy. But the platform's got to grow alongside you, right? So that's kind of a weird. You gotta place your bets there.
And also a very interesting kind of system that we're seeing on Mixer right now is where we've been on Twitch a long time. We kind of understand how metrics flow, particularly how metrics flow within a game category. Where if like one streamer gets on that has more viewers than you, then your viewers will go down. That person will generally shoot up, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
What's really interesting about Mixer is their entire platform is functioning in almost an identical way as a single game category on Twitch.
Right.
So their overall, like the top channels, that list is constantly bouncing around, regardless of game selection. Just because like that's where Mixer puts a lot of its focus. Like you see their big streamers all the time. So like yesterday, a good example, like Gathian had a big first day. He was on for like 9 hours straight. Ninja gets on for 4 hours, never got past Gathian's numbers. And Gathian's numbers were actually less than he would have gotten for Destiny 2 release on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, Ninja was playing a different game than Fortnite. And that's important to mention. He wasn't in where like his normal big viewership is. But still, like it's very interesting to look at the metrics and more importantly, like over time, see how the interactions between different streamers are as a whole compared to Twitch in a compartment. And the tangents are wild.
Yeah,
like how that functions.
It is.
When did Ninja switch to Mixer? Does anybody have like a month?
I want to say 3 months ago. Let me see.
Was that 3 months ago? God, asking for me when something happened in this year seems like
August 1st.
God, it was that long ago. Holy shit. Okay.
I know, right? So I'm just gonna look because I'm just curious. How do I search this damn? Basically, I wanted to see if Tim got a noticeable bump in average concurrent viewership.
Oh yeah.
When Ninja left.
Yeah, Tim or Courage might have seen a bump for sure.
Yeah.
Or Lupo.
Shroud at the time.
Or yeah, or
maybe
Shroud,
that was the plan. Maybe the plan was for Ninja to leave, and then all the people wash over to Shroud, and then Shroud leaves.
Oh God!
Who's
next? Tim's next.
We figured it. We cracked the master plan.
Honestly, it doesn't look like there was any like. Also, WoW came out, so like it's hard to judge.
Things kind of went down. Yeah, or well, they went up, and then it's fucking weird. Metrics happened. I want to ask you guys, I don't think this would ever happen, but it could, but I don't think it'll ever happen. Say the next Xbox comes out. You have Shroud, Ninja, Goth, a couple more streamers over there that they get acquired. New Xbox comes out. Microsoft announces that you can only stream the new Halo on Mixer.
You can do, and they can do that.
Is that something? Do we start seeing exclusivity contracts for streaming rights to games?
I would be so mad.
Do they kill their advertising on a global platform and say you can only stream on Mixer? Is it worth it to like bump up that? I don't know.
Is it that? Okay, so I want to say that people put a lot of stock in how well viewership on Twitch correlates with how well a game does monetary and sales wise, right?
Yeah.
Like Counter-Strike is not doing so hot as a category, but it had its most concurrent players ever since its launch, like this summer, right? So that metric, people look at Counter-Strike dead game. I mean, no, it's literally the best it's ever been.
There's multiple games like that, yeah.
Right. So I'm wondering almost like, is it really that big of a deal if they just say you can't stream this shit on Twitch? Like, are people going like, are Halo fans not going to buy it because you can't stream it on Twitch? Like, is that a thing they would even notice, like sales wise? I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to this, but that's a weird and kind of scary thought because I want to play that game.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
It's content creator and content. So right now they're exclusivizing the content creators. So the next realm would be exclusivizing the content.
Oh, or early access. All Mixer streamers get a week of the game early. Anybody on Mixer who streams on Mixer can play it early.
I could see that.
That's how you get it.
I could see that being very real.
God, I hope they're not watching this show right now.
Yeah, that could be a very real thing, man.
Also, Jericho, I'm gonna need you to just go ahead and shut up.
Well, I mean, here's another thing though. They could totally do that without saying that they're doing that by just giving access to Shroud, Ninja, and Cathalion and saying, "Hey, our streamers have access to stream this game right now. No one else does."
Well,
and we can't even get mad at it because it's just. I'm sorry. I'll really quick. They can't even get mad at it because it's additive content. Anyways, go.
Yeah,
true. That's very true. But Ninja, a lot when he was going around, a lot of people like you guys were just saying, we're talking about like exclusive rights to the new Halo. Ninja used to be a big Halo guy and all this stuff. So I mean, honestly, like I wouldn't put that by anyone. Like that sounds exactly like something that could happen. Another thing, now just a weird other thing to think about, by the way. Technically, all games could have us license them to give playthroughs of them. Yeah. Like they could do that right now because they can claim all the content as being theirs. And we could theoretically have a marketplace where you go and you have to buy the rights to stream a game before doing it. So yeah, I mean, all this stuff is totally possible. It's just not being done. So yeah, it's an interesting.
They're 100% doing that.
Yeah, I mean that goes down a weird road, right? Because like, if your idea is to push it out to as many people as possible and not just the top streams, and you're doing that, you're restricting the license to stream a game, then
the licensing thing is a bad. I don't think they're gonna do that. Also, like monetizing, you think about it, you're like monetizing the top of the pyramid here. There's
that's what I'm
streamers,
saying. Yeah,
a lot of yeah. But I think I would posit that the other thing that we're not going to talk about again, since we just mentioned it, that's probably going to happen if they're smart.
I would think so. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. That, especially with a new console. If I'm a streamer and I get first grabs with like a small pool of other streamers that get first grabs at a brand new console with brand new IPs, brand new games before everyone else, fuck, that's awesome. And I signed a fat check to get that as well. That sounds great. I'm super into that. I also wonder, too, how much they're going to dig into being kind of that advertising arm. To circle back to the beginning of the conversation, are we going to see those three be at E3 announcements or come out and like demo a game? Like, they're probably going to be everywhere, right?
Yeah, I find it hard to believe
the best FPS streamer in the world, so to speak, playing your game.
That's what I say. Like, instead of having these devs come out and play like how every dev doesn't know how to aim down sights in an FPS demo, right? You put Shroud up there and just have them like run through it. And oh man,
yeah, I bet you that happens at E3. Or doesn't Microsoft have an event in November in London or something like that?
Really?
I think
you
there's
probably know better.
I think there's some other event coming up, but I don't know the name of it. XO 19. Is that in November?
Oh,
that has a nice ring to it. X19.
So
I wonder if we see one of those guys up there.
Oh, or maybe they could be lining up the dominoes for that as we speak. Like maybe the entire point of all this acquisition is for some giant thing at their event.
Yeah, November 14th to 16th.
See every one of their streamers there,
at least in video form, right?
Yeah,
I could see it, and I could see them in person, but I think video form might be more likely. Or, I mean, you talk about advertising. Hey, here's a game that we just announced, and Cathalion's streaming it right now. Go check them out.
Like right now, at the end of it.
Yeah.
And then they host it and then
on the stage.
Yeah. I could totally see that stuff happening. And that's where they have things that Twitch cannot do, right? Because Twitch doesn't have a major console in the console world. So why not like try to stand out and be unique with that type of stuff?
That is one really interesting benefit with Mixer. Is like they have the game development, the streaming service, like the
very vertical
attendance and awareness. Yeah, it's all under the same umbrella. Like that is There's not many other situations where that's the case. Like even with Facebook and YouTube, they're on the same level as Twitch. They're just content distributors at the end of the day. But like Microsoft, they run the whole show under that thing.
Yeah. You know what would have been weird if Twitch got bought by Sony instead of Amazon back in the day? That would have been an interesting future to see. To see
You're
Sony,
right. That would have been
like two giant verticals right there. The Sony versus Xbox wars. The Sony
that would
versus
be
Microsoft wars. Yeah.
That would be interesting.
That probably exists somewhere. That would exist.
Amazon to buy Sony.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, they probably fucking could. Anyways,
Amazon buys the entire country of Japan.
Yeah, the Xbox is outlawed. No one owns. Well, no one's owns them anyways.
I mean, nobody owns the Xbox anywhere outside of the U.S.
That's
anyway,
true.
so.
It's true. That's a true statement. Yeah. Which that's another interesting thing. Like the global presence of the Xbox is not necessarily there, right? So like how many actual
PC?
Yeah, but PC is global, right? So
yeah.
I don't know. There's so many different variables. So
this is so exciting and terrifying.
I've had a low sense of anxiety about all of this ever since Shroud got announced, because it's just you can't
terrifying
predict
in the
shit
sense
now.
that right. I meant terrifying in the sense of like it's the unknown. Like nobody knows where it's gonna go. And for the last, I think 4 years, it's been it's been a traditionally predictable path for streaming and content creation and stuff. And now somebody's just like, what if we fucked it all up? It's like, oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. I think it's also go ahead.
I was gonna say, like I've been saying it for years, but it's never been more apt than these days. Like our profession is riding a cutting edge wave. There's nothing you can Google to tell where it's going. There's no guides you can read that will properly tell you how to do it. Like everything we do every single day is on the very cusp of this industry. And it is both horrifying and incredibly exciting.
Yeah.
It's a crazy time, man.
Yeah.
Crazy time.
It's the type of thing like we were joking about earlier, but I think there is some sense of, I guess nervousness is the word that I use. Anytime one of my friends is like, hey, I'm going to take today off, I got to do some business stuff, I think, well, are they going to be moving to another platform? What's going on? I'll message him and be like, hey, how's life?
You sent me a message when I went out of town for 2 days for that thing. You're
it's just like,
where you going, bud?
What's going on, dude? What are you doing? Yeah.
I mean, it's true though. Like I had an announcement that next month, and it has nothing to do with any platform change. But no, it doesn't. But like every single time I bring it up, there's like no other room for discussion about what it could be. It's strictly about platform changing.
Yeah.
And you're just like, okay, I guess
that's
the way all this goes.
I think it was.
I didn't want to say. My plan was to not say anything about the 2 days that I left, but I ended up having to do that exactly what you just said, Jericho. I was like, look, I'm not going to tell you about where I went. It has nothing to do with this. But I'm not going anywhere, and it's not related to anything I do on this. So it's like, let's put that in the ground. Like, it's not what this is.
And I think that also
we're kind of forced to acknowledge that.
Well, I think that just kind of shows how community-driven this all is, right? Like, people actually want to know what's going on at all given times of the day for that stuff. Yep. So, yeah, we didn't really talk about this at all, but I'll make a grandiose question. Can you buy community?
No. You can buy the tool to foster a community based on a caster, and you can facilitate growth. But it's kind of like a plant. Like you can put all the perfect conditions around it, but you still need that seed. And if you don't have that seed, then nothing's going to grow from it.
Yeah.
You use the word. I mean, if you said, "Can you buy viewers?" Yes. Can you buy community? No.
Sure.
Like community is a different word. Community means like a place that feels like home, kind of a thing.
Right.
So can you buy that? No, you can't buy the feeling of being a part of, a certain community or whatever. But can you buy viewers? Sure.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we're looking at this all wrong because I just noticed in JP's chat, like someone's like, "Well, yeah, you could buy me to be a member of the community." So it's like,
I mean,
those are my viewers, though. I've trained them well for the next week's Switch. Okay, we're good to go. I've got them all prepped.
No, Zeke is right. Zeke nailed it. Like you can buy all the tools, but community is something that inherently has to grow on its own. You can't just like create a fake community. You have to foster it, and it has to be something that grows on its own and becomes what it is by itself. That's why, like, Twitch has such a unique community from channel to channel. It's not just you can't just like plop somebody in and be like, go over there. Like in Mixer, even the Shroud's chat and Ninja's chat, and I'm sure Goth's chat to an extent, very different and like vibe, very different
Totally.
setting than prior to the Switch.
For sure.
Yeah. Have you guys, again, I have to announce my ignorance here. What is like the general sentiment of the chats over there? Is it like, hey, welcome to, or is it like, can you mention the word Twitch in the chats to have that shit filtered out? Like,
the Mixer crew, Mixer has kind of been the underdog for a good long while now, and a lot of that kind of fostered confidence in their platform is now being transferred to the large streamers that are being moved over. Hey, we're so glad you're on Mixer. It's about time some big names got here, and generally it's relatively positive from like the actual Mixer viewer to the streamer. However, it is a wake-up call to go from a Twitch chat to a Mixer chat. I mean, it is the difference of going from like a place where you can actually have a conversation to like a spammy gifs flying around, giant blocks of support, emotes, fish swimming around, and it's just like, even like apparently you have to download plugins to get a lot of that stuff going away, and it looks like a circus. Like I was trying to have conversations. What's up?
I said, imagine having plugins to make your chat experience better.
I know. Well, true. Good point. But anyway, it's the kind of thing. Yeah, can't fault that. But it is the kind of thing where, like, it from a technical perspective, it is a very different world. It is. There's a lot of things they do very differently on Mixer, and even in the chats that I've been in, like when you see a new viewer come over, like, hey, I'm from Twitch. It's my first day on Mixer. A lot says, how do I turn this stuff off? Like, what's going on? What's going on in here? And then you'll see other people start linking them how-tos and guides on how to like straighten that out and stuff. So technically it's a little bumpy, but community-wise, most of the people there that I've seen are pretty thrilled to see like their platform get more awareness and more people.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. So can I say from prior to these moves, the general sentiment from friends of mine that were streaming on Mixer, I heard a lot of, I fucking hate these young kids that are on the Xbox app that just like don't know how to behave socially, because they're, with the integration and in general on Xbox, there's a lot more of a unrefined. Those were my words, not theirs, by the way. Like that's I was just like,
wow.
Yeah. No, it's
just, I didn't know Shroud was just talking so much shit behind the scenes. God damn.
No, I said prior to the Switches and stuff. Okay, and the same as with Facebook. Like there's a different type of person that was and probably is still using those services, those streaming platforms, and they don't necessarily like. Let's not pretend that Twitch has like an incredibly competent and chat across the board. It varies, but like you're going to run into the same problems over there that you would over here. It's just going to be, again, back to like Zeke's point, like what kind of community are you going to foster? Like how are you going to manage your channel? How are you going to manage your chat? Because we all have very different chat experiences, from Co's to mine to Zeke's to JP's, and that's all down to years of grooming and trying to make sure that people understand how they should behave in our section. But Mixer did not have that, I don't think, because they didn't have those people that are like going out of their way to make that, make their chat experience the way they want it to.
Yeah.
And honestly, to be fair, I mean, that could be one of the big reasons a caster like Goth was right in their crosshairs. I mean, Gothalion has always been big about communities, been big about charity. He has had arguably one of the bigger kind of community Twitch streams. I mean, maybe the exact stuff you were just saying is why he got purchased over there. So yeah. I mean, it's interesting to think about. That could very well be it.
Final question I got on this stuff, because we spent a lot of time on it. Do you think that these acquisitions, with the numbers that are flying around privately and publicly in terms of how much they got paid and all that stuff, do you think that certain quote not brand safe streamers are potentially looking at that and thinking like, fuck, I need to clean up my shit? Because like, why? There's no reason why they would pay me to go over there. Like, look at my chat. Just people like brawl fighting and throwing alcohol.
I mean,
it's just
I think
absolute
yours
nonsense.
are fine.
Like, do you think
yours are fine?
No, I'm saying like, do you think that
Oh,
a
you
lot
mean
of
like
other streamers, yeah, not necessarily mine.
like let's just throw out like I love watching him special type of stream, right? But like XQC, do you think that he would have to change the way that he handles his chat, or like a
Yeah.
Forsin or something like that? Probably. Like I don't know. We don't know the behind the scenes of what Mixer wants, right?
Right.
Like
That's
so
exactly
I guess
right.
it's kind of hard to posit whether or not they'd have to like. But like, is it even inherently like a bad or like a negative chat experience? It's just
Well,
different.
No, but it's
And
brand safe
this
is the
is
key
where it gets
word.
a little bit different.
Oh,
Because like
brand safe. Yeah.
you can look at a channel like Forsen or XQC or even like Moon, and you can say like,
Yeah,
oh, this is just a huge wall of spam. No one's discussing anything. Everyone is just typing drivel. Like, what a mess. Or you could go, that chat is essentially a stadium cheering on their favorite viewer.
Yeah,
That is
they're
the
engaged.
that you hear at stadiums. They're just making noise and having fun and enjoying what they're
Yeah.
watching.
100%
Those are two
engaged.
completely different perspectives of the same thing. So
It just depends on how Mixer views it.
Like, yeah, who freaking knows? I mean, I don't even know if there's any. I don't even think there's any channels like that on Mixer right now. Like even Shroud and Ninja, when they have huge amounts of numbers, it's still
Pretty
kind
contained.
of like standard Twitchy. Like it's mostly people writing full sentences and not spamming emotes, and like there's actual some
That's a good-
conversation going on. Like it's not nearly that same level that you would get from like the big cheer. I actually have recently started calling cheers like the big cheering streamers that you see on Twitch.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a different way to do it. It's not bad or worse. It's just different.
Right.
It's just different. That's a good you're right. It's like the stadium, like my voice is one of many, and like what I say isn't necessarily the important part. Like, but
it's more being a part of something bigger. You are a piece of that machine, and you're all part of that machine. It's communal in a way.
Right.
In its own way.
Yeah. Good way of looking at it. Let's do final thoughts here. We'll go to a break and come back and talk about those video games that people are playing these days. Any final thoughts on that? I mean, mine at the end of the day are like, Goth won't be the last. There's probably a ton more to happen. I'm so curious to see what happens in the future. Both for people that stay on Twitch, for people that move. I wish I had a time machine so I can go 3 years in the future and like look to see what the landscape looks like, and then just jump back in a ship like I was, Biff from Back to the Future and place my bets. But yeah,
I'm just excited.
It's an interesting time for sure. I think that like most of the people that I've talked to, including everyone here on this call and a bunch of other different streamers, like they're all looking at that stuff and just thinking like, man, what a crazy place. What a weird industry. What a cool industry at the same time.
Year.
Yeah. Fun and yeah, I was gonna say like there's a lot. It's overall very positive. It's just what kind of positive we need to figure out what.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of negative things that are going to come from our peers getting massive payments to do what they love to do.
Yeah.
Because that's what's happening at the end of the day. So yeah, let's see where this ride takes us.
Yeah. Zeke, any closing thoughts? Kind of remained quiet most of the thing.
Because he's going to Mixer.
He is going to Mixer. Yeah, that's why we didn't want to talk about it, but he'd like to.
He's like, I have something to show you.
No, I've been hearing that like since I haven't spoken up as much because the conversation was flowing, and I was probably just going to parrot some of the points you guys were making and stuff like that. It seemed to be going just fine without me. So I was more than content to sit there and listen. But I did see a lot of people like, Zeke's being so quiet because he's going to Mixer. Don't want my fucking ass, dude. Come on. They wouldn't pay me.
They don't want your asshole.
They pay me like a third of what I'm worth. They don't
see
want
what happens when you say what's
going
to happen, Zeke, and how it just constantly comes back.
Yeah.
You got to be careful with that. You got to be careful.
But I thought about that when you guys were talking about like cleaning up your chat and whatever. It's like the one thing I wanted to say was if they pay for Andrew Dice Clay, do they expect him not to be Andrew Dice Clay, like vulgar and like,
well,
all that stuff? Like,
yeah.
Aren't they paying for that? Like, don't they want that if they?
My question was, do they even want exactly what you're about to say? Do they even want like the Andrew Dice Clay, right? Like, do they look at the quote non-brand safe streamers and think like, well, next, like, do they ignore viewership, analytics, and all that stuff because they just think it's not a good fit?
They're further down the list for sure. Like,
yeah, I would think so as well.
Someone who has the same amount of numbers is definitely way down further than someone who's cleaner.
Sure, I would
For
think
sure.
so. It's just easier to swallow, I guess is how I would say. Easier pill to swallow.
Advertising is king. So
Yeah, we
fuck up.
we
But
brought you on, Jericho. We didn't talk about any of that. I would love to talk about some of your
man,
circumstances in the future. But...
I just want to go away.
Oh God, that's a whole thing.
You know what's gonna happen? You know what's gonna happen? McDonald's is gonna buy Twitch.
Oh, I gotta go
Jericho's
somewhere
out.
else, man.
He's gonna go hit up Burger King, aka Mixer, or Facebook, aka Wendy's, and just...
No, don't do Wendy's like that.
What?
That's the Facebook is the Long John Silver's. Like
fair. Wait, then is caffeine Wendy's?
The Del Taco.
I don't know.
Oh God.
Cap.
Yeah.
I love all of these companies dearly.
All great companies, all 10 out of 10 products. Would eat again. Any other thoughts on this Mixer stuff? Are we good for now? This will
I think we're
probably
good
come
until the next revelation, whoever it is, whatever it is.
Yeah, I think for the next couple of whoever it is, we'll talk about it.
Let's all guess a date where there's going to be somebody else moving. See who's right.
Okay, so let's do dates because I think let's not do names. Let's do dates.
No, let's do dates.
Yeah,
because names are okay.
Let me look.
I'm guessing.
I mean, you don't want to be referenced by that streamer's chat for the next 3 weeks about saying that they're moving.
Well, I mean, that could be seen as that could get some extra.
Wait, so
people
we've
in
had a
chat.
Tuesday announcement, right? We've had a Tuesday announcement.
We had a Thursday announcement, a Sunday announcement with a Tuesday start. When did Ninja start? What day was Ninja starting on?
The 1st of August, which was a Thursday.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the I'm gonna go with the 14th
of November.
Yeah, I think the 7th is too close. I don't know any. By the way, we have no insider information. This is all speculation. None of us
is all
know
speculation.
Shit.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
we're just speculating on what the next Mixer move announcement is.
The next date, not who it is. The date that it's going to happen. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I'm gonna take a swing here, and I'm going to say they just got 2 people. Maybe they'll let them cook a little bit. First week of December.
that's a good guess. That's a good guess.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I definitely think that we will see another one before Christmas.
Here's the thing: it's such a hard target because
when is that Xbox Live show? When is that big show happen?
The 14th to the 16th.
I'm on with the 14th, baby.
Okay, you're doubling down on the 14th.
I could definitely see them announcing somebody at that. Like that could be big. If they were to get like a big name, like that would be a big.
And he walks out, or whomever Pokimane walks out on stage.
Look at a James Brown cape. He like comes out. They put a Mixer cape over him, and he's like,
WWE.
Oh my God.
I could see that. That'd be a good spectacle.
That's awesome. That'd be incredible.
It's such a hard thing to choose a date because it's not like Mixer is planning these dates. It's just when contracts are ending, at least from the outward looking in, right?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So
I'd love to see a big announcement from them on the 14th. I think that would like for opening day of the concert, opening day of the event, just be like, guess what? Boom, and they just like drop a banner and it shows. What if they did like 3?
Oh, yeah. Well, someone in chat brought this up and I didn't even consider it. Like, I'm trying to think if there are any big like esport teams that have a lot of stream numbers to them. Cause like back in the day, like TSM and I forget who else went to like a Zubu or whatever. Right. And then came back. So I wonder if that's where they go. Yeah. I don't know. 14th sounds pretty good. I'll go with the 18th. I would love for it to happen on Monday for the start of the week. That just makes a lot of sense, but I'll go with the 18th.
Right at the beginning of the news cycle.
Yeah. My day is the 18th. So we got the 14th for Jericho, 18th for me.
Oh, never mind.
Any other guesses? Any other dates you guys want to nail down? I don't know what we're giving away for this.
First week of December. I think
first week of December, yeah.
Between 1st and 7th of December, I think could be a good one.
Okay. All right. Zeke, any thoughts?
I think they're gonna. I think it'd be 14th. Yeah, I think it'd be
doubling down on
me
14th.
and Zeke.
There you go.
Pretty neat. Yeah.
All right.
Sweet.
There we go. We're done. That's it. No more Mixer talk for a week, probably.
Video
Unless they
games.
pick someone up
Yeah,
next
we'll
week.
pick-
We'll see what
And then
happens.
we find out we're sitting here a half year from now, and we're just like, so they didn't get anyone else.
Oh,
So that
man.
was it, huh?
I guess it didn't work.
Yeah, that'd be weird. That would be a weird.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, we're gonna take a break. We'll come back, talk Outer Worlds, talk Call of Duty. Bunch of gaming news happened this week.
Little misfortune.
Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff, bunch of games, bunch of news, bunch of things, and we're gonna try to all cram it in like an hour and 20 minutes. So we'll see how we do. Don't go anywhere. More drop frames right after this. We'll see you guys then.